If California wants to continue to be the premier institutions of higher education that we have been for generations before, we must do better when it comes to funding. We have in the UC system 273,000 students. In the CSU system, we have almost 500,000, 484,000 students enrolled, taken in classes in the CSU system. For years, both of these systems have been the envy of the world, in higher education. But they will not continue to be those premier institutions unless we change the course this year and fund both of them in the way that they need to be funded. We have heard from students. Throughout the last few months, students have come to Sacramento. They have come to our hearings, whether they be in Fresno or Riverside, to tell their stories. How there's not enough room in the classroom. To tell their stories of how they have to work 2 and 3 jobs, not be able to afford food or a place to live because of high tuition. This year, we cannot do what we've done in past years and give the burden of higher education, the cost of higher education to the students. We cannot do that.
11% of CSU students are homeless, and over 40% face food insecurity, with both of those numbers increasing for our first generation and our African American students. Transportation, textbooks, and student housing costs have continued to rise. And while we're happy that the chancellor did the right thing and decided against raising tuition this year, we now need the governor to do the right thing and fully fund the CSU system.
Isn't it a shame that almost half of the students in the University of California system reported experiencing food insecurity? That students have to choose between food, a necessity, and tuition. That students do not have the money to eat or are skipping meals because they need to pay for books or attendance applications.
Today, we are calling on the legislature united. It is time. Invest in the student who will become healthcare providers for aging Californians. Invest in the student who is trying to ensure the longevity of the middle class. Invest in the student who will one day be sitting in the chambers right down the hall. Invest in my peers and I.
This year, we have an opportunity to change course. We have the opportunity to do what is right, to fully fund CSU and UC. So we are here to say that, to make the message clear, that not only do we need to fully fund CSU and UC, but we need to make space for the 30,000 students that each year we've turned away in the CSU system. We can do that this year, increase student enrollment in CSU by 3%. At a low cost of $89 million, we can increase 3% student enrollment in CSU and at least start to chip away at the number of students that we turn away and make room for another 10,000 students in California. I think we have reneged on the promise. We have reneged on the promise of higher education here in California. And it is time that we do what is right, change course, fully fund CSU and UC,